10 seconds remaining.
All right, I think we are back on in here. It looks like there's going to be, again, a bit of a delay on
5
stream,
seconds
but we
remaining.
will be going forward now with the draft. You guys will hear this now 5 minutes in the past. I am from the future, so we see all. And now Fantastic5 again going on to that mid pick up, or rather the third pickup. Now they do still have to pick up that support like we talked about. They still need what could be a position 1. Do you think they're going to run Alk in the mid lane or perhaps lane him?
To pick.
It's a little bit difficult. I think they have to run him in the mid lane because safe lane Alchemist usually, like we've seen it in the past a couple of times, but it tends to just not run as effectively because you want to have level 6 as quick as possible in the mid lane. So I think
10
you
seconds
are forced to
remaining.
run him up against the Timbersaw. They have banned out a lot of the annoying heroes against Slaughter, like against Alchemist, sorry, the Slaughter, the Bad Rider, heavy like single target focused annoying heroes who can jump him, who can make sure he drops down very easily. Which is good, as well as on the side of Alliance, we do have the Oracle Disruptor getting removed. Disruptor especially, I like that ban because Timbersaw, the best way you deal with him is like heavy silences, right? So just taking away the best hero at doing just that, I guess.
Yeah, so, Alliance, I'm assuming this is going to be that S4 Timbersaw, could be the Bulldog Timbersaw. And now the Ricky picked up as the position 4. Oh god, I love this pick.
Team pick.
That's a cheeky pick. Obviously, you now have another infest bomb with the lifesteal, which is always good. You want to have multiple of those, obviously. The Ricky without a Darkseid is not as effective, but obviously you can still go around on the map. You can still spot out what the Shadow
10
Demon is doing,
seconds
spot out the
remaining.
Alchemist when he's trying to jungle, who's stacking for him. The Night Stalker, like we talked about earlier, could easily be like jungling early on. So Ricky has a lot of options of like scouting out things that the team needs to be able to go in and take at some point.
Yeah, now, again, Alliance, they still have to pick up a secondary support. Do you think they're going to go with that very hard position 5 that, sits back and farms, rather sits back in the lane and babysits up the lifestealer, or do you think they're going to go with some sort of roaming duo, maybe picking up a Rubik for EGM?
I like that pickup, like a Rubik, potentially a Venge, a Lion, like something that has a stun and can go around with the Ricky early on, because the lifesteal, I don't think he's going to be contested that much in the lane, and we still haven't seen if there's going to be like another offlane pick than the Night Stalker, but I'm for sure.
Oh,
All right.
oh man, we have got a brood mother on the field here. Sticking with the rat strat again in these best of ones. It's all down to how you perform one game. There's no redemption. Fantastic5, they go with that Luna for some nice hard farm late game potential, but good golly, this is looking great from Alliance.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where Broodmother just looks so scary because Broodmother, I mean, Luna, yeah, you do have some AoE with the glaives, but it's not really coming into effect before like level 5 or past. So the Broodmother should be getting a very, very good lane. The only like AoE you actually have is the Shadow Poison, which isn't really too reliable. The Alchemist, if you were thinking about like sending him away from the mid lane, like we talked about before, that's pretty much gonna be impossible. I mean, the Acid does something, but Broodmother is gonna pretty much shit on him all day long. So, interesting.
Yeah, so last pick for Alliance here. They have got this entire map opened up for them, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them go for another roaming hero to really control Fantastic5, because again, Luna needs a lot of time in lane to get anything out of it. She can't just kind of go and fight at level 1. She really needs a lot of items, a lot of farm, a lot of levels to be productive.
Definitely. One thing they do very much miss, I feel like, is some heavy initiation, because right now they just pretty much have like run at you heroes. They don't have anyone who can blink in. So a support who, like a Rubik, like a Lion you said, who can get an early blink dagger if they get a good amount of farm, and then like be that initiating hero that you normally see from an offlane. And they're gonna go for the Lion, so it makes sense. Pretty much completes the draft by the looks of things.
Yeah, and now, again, last pick, I think they're still going to need to pick up some sort of, I think they're going to need an offlaner. I think Night Stalker is more common as the position 4 now, but Fantastic5, they've got a little bit of flexibility here. Now, it looks like going in, they are dipping into their reserve time. They're going to go for the Axe now as their last pick. I do like this a lot. I think they can throw them in the jungle if things get tough. They may just sack the offlane altogether, and that will give a lot of freedom to the Night Stalker to go and rotate. That'll give a lot of levels to Fantastic5 early, and their gank potential is going to be great, but the problem is you just need time to come online. The Alchemist can't fight early. He can't fight pre-level 6. The Luna, she needs her items before she can go in. And Alliance, they're ready to push from minute 1. They've got that Lion with heavy utility. They got the Broodmother for the tower push. Ricky to jump on your back. And then, everyone else will get farm out. Now, moving forward here, madkingz, I think you're muted somehow. But either way, This draft is going to be complete. Now, Alliance, no holds barred here. We see a Broodmother game 1 of the regional qualifiers. This is crazy.
10 seconds remaining.
All right, taking you guys out of HUD jail there. And moving in, as the game will start with the ceremonial pause here. We do have those early disconnects, and we will fix that up here, but we'll see what's going to go down here. Loda will be playing up that Lifestealer. S4 on what looks to be the mid Timbersaw Ake on that Roaming Lion. Admiral Bulldog on that off-lane Broodmother, and EGM on that pesky Ricky. Now everyone is loaded in on the side F5. We're going to have Pasha on the Axe. RMN is going to be on the Night Stalker, BZZ on that mid Alchemist, Illidan on the carry Luna, and finally Yol is going to be on that rotating Shadow Demon. It'll be interesting to see where the farm priority lies on F5, because again, the Alchemist and Luna both need a lot of time to themselves before they can really come in and be aggressive, be those fighters, and safe lane if you give that completely to the Luna. If mid gets sacked, if Timbersaw really comes online and starts pestering the Alchemist, he doesn't have a whole lot of places to turn. And now we're going to go through, again, some issues with the co-caster, but hopefully we get him back before the real action starts going down. And, well, the G's come out. We are rolling on through. Loda heading in. Looks like there could be a little bit of rune contest, but most likely everyone just going through. Throwing up those words. We have RMN on the Night Stalker with that Observer ready to go. Going to be trying to block away one of those jungle camps and make it perhaps a little bit more difficult for Loda to get farm. And, you know, Alliance play around that strat of 4 protect Loda and hope that he gets big in the late game. And on a Lifestealer, he should have a relatively early peak. And EGM on that Ricky has picked up the Orb of Venom, so going to go for that nice harassy build. Ricky's, we see a lot now. It's just jumped into this meta, kind of surpassing the Bounty Hunter in terms of priority, because it does transition to that semi-carry in that late game, and you're able to go through, build up the damage, the smoke screen, obviously a super valuable silence, especially up against heroes like a Night Stalker, like an Axe, like an Alchemist, that need to be all up in you to get that fight going.
30 seconds to battle.
Now over here, we got Illidan already picking up some stats items. It looks like he's going to be going for that Wraith Band first. Nothing too surprising. Yol holding onto that skill point. Most likely we'll see Disruption, but he could go for that Shadow Poison to get that spray out, that nice harass going forward. So, just sitting here waiting for the runes to spawn. It looks like Dire will go ahead and try to claim bottom. And maybe Pasha's able to go through and secure the top rune as well. He hasn't skilled, so he does still have the call available, but will perhaps get forced back as S4 comes here. We'll be able to snap up the bounty, so it's going to be a 1-1 split, Alk versus Timbersaw. And that's going to be an interesting lane to watch. Again, 2 big beefy fighters. I want to say Timbersaw has a little bit more harass potential as Alchemist. He just wants farm. He's going to throw out that acid spray a couple of times, but Timbersaw shouldn't have a whole lot of trouble dealing with that. Again, he should put those points in reactive armor fairly quickly.
All right.
Oh, I hear you, man.
Yeah, we did it.
Okay.
Finally.
So hopefully we got no more double announcer sounds coming in now. Again, BZZ already getting harassed here. They bring an EGM. There is a sentry ward, so they know the Ricky's here. But BZZ can't do a whole lot about it. Again, he levels up that Greevil's Greed first just to be able to get that reliable farm to keep himself ahead of net worth. And Night Stalker may have to spend a lot of time camping this mid lane to look for those voids to punish off the Ricky.
Definitely. This is kind of one of those lane situations where the Alchemist won't really be able to do too much against the Timbersaw, because even when his acid spray is up, then the Timbersaw can pretty much just match it with the reactive armor, and he's going to be able to out-heal it most of the time. But Amen, just trying to help out as much as possible. Obviously, it is still difficult. Timbersaw doesn't really take any harass.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be completely fine in this lane. Now, the problem is if BZZ completely loses the lane, if he doesn't get a whole lot of farm, if he doesn't spike up in terms of net worth, where does he go? Does he dip into the jungle, which is going to be probably taken over by Axe at some point? Luna needs that safe lane farm, so you face the risk of your Alchemist getting very, very hungry if he misses out on that early gold.
I think this is pretty much like comes down to the draft. This is something they have to do with what has been picked up from the side of Alliance. The best way they can do it is pretty much just making sure that he has stacks in the jungle, which now they're not doing right now. I guess Armen is going to be the one doing that. Most of the time you can see he's pulling right now on the top. I guess they're going to be just trying to secure him some farm in the jungle. That's pretty much going to be the only way I can think of, because S4 is going to be able to put pressure no matter what. Armen can't even punish him before level 4 when the nighttime ticks in, so that's pretty much going to be the only window they have to try and help him.
So it looks like Illidan taking up this position 1 Luna will hop into the offlane against the Broodmother. Do you think that's going to be the most successful pick? As here Ricky goes through, EGM taking out God Mode will go through in the Courier, and I believe that was Alex's Bottle as well.
Oh, yeah, that's not good. Like you said with the...
Oh no. We got lag. There we go. Hop back in.
Well. Did you die?
A little bit of lag spike here, but should be nothing we can't work through.
Seems good.
Yep, up top. It looks like Night Stalker going to be roaming around looking for that void. But again, Aki playing pretty safe, stacking up this camp here, wanting to get that nice farm. But the XP will be split pretty thin. 3 heroes in that range. Now Ricky coming back through. He only has that Cloak and Dagger, only level 1. Hasn't found a single tick of experience. So he's not going to be able to go for that level 2 smokescreen anytime soon.
Yeah, especially when you're up against this tanky lineup. You actually have a Night Stalker. You can't hit those people.
Certainly not. Now mid lane, we got a disruption coming down. BZZ looking for some kill potential, but S4, I mean, he's already leveled up that Whirling Death. He just kind of zones everyone out. The 2 points in reactive armor totally saving him here, as again, the harass is so difficult for here. He can heal up so quickly, and he has his bottle. Well, Alex still has the time to wait for the courier. Yol has to TP out. Can't deal with EGM's harass, can't run away. So it's going to be Ricky forcing out the TPs, and now you got Shadow Demon starting from the bottom all the way back in base.
Yeah, that's a lucky haste for now, and obviously going for the TP was the right call because you can't just let the Ricky with the hastes follow you around and kill you. But that's gonna be him like putting on a little bit of a delay coming back to the lane, so he's gonna be taking some time.
All right, now over here we are going to have the Night Stalker again looking for something, but the vision game has fallen off a little bit from F5. Those first round of sentries are burning through, and now they are going to lose that valuable vision on the roaming Ricky.
He's trying to stack up, but as you can see, EGM he's just gonna keep on blocking. He's keep on harassing. He is almost. It is 4 minutes into the game now, so Arman is gonna be able to rotate around. But before having level 3, he just doesn't really do too much. He's gonna be able to pick up a double damage when it potentially set something up. But I don't think he can kill mid not having level 2 void because level 1 void really doesn't do much other than just tickling.
Now Ricky going to give eyes on this double damage Night Stalkers. They are going to be playing safe here, going down to this rune. It looks like S4 is going to pick himself up that bounty. So Alchemist wishing he got his paws on that, but not going to be so lucky this time now. Again, they are looking for something here. Can they get EGM? It looks like no. He's going to be too slippery. They don't want to dive too deep for this one.
Yeah, this is pretty much just going to be a stalemate. They can't really do anything in the mid lane, and this is fairing Alliance because, as you can see so far, they are leading the last hits. The only good thing is that the Axe is keeping up as well, but Broodmother is matching him, so overall Alliance is just winning the laning stage right now, and it kind of comes down to Fantastic5 having to, like, at some point start putting some pressure on one of the lanes, because so far Alliance is just winning all 3 lanes by the looks of things.
Now we have Pasha going through, taking out this small camp pretty deep in the Radiant territory, and oh, up top there could be a play onto Admiral Bulldog. Do they have vision though? The Spider's actually chunking down the Luna a fair amount, but for now, oh, they are going to go through. They will get the dust onto Admiral Bulldog. Do they have the damage to back it up? Looks like the Void already used. They used the Lucent Beam. There's a disruption to buy some time, and that looks like they will be able to get the kill. After all, he's sitting there, he's taking it, and finally the first blood goes the way of RMN on that Night Stalker off the back of a well-timed dust.
Yeah, that was so close to the dust running out as well, but he was just standing still trying to get it off, but in the end he's going to be getting killed, so nice.
All right,
he did get the kill on Luna though.
Ake running away takes a battle hunger, but Pasha actually quite low. Looks like they could rotate in Loda for this, but Loda not quite ready to fight. He doesn't want to go in too aggressively, but he may get a chance to just get some free hits onto the Axe, who is going to go through. Will salve up. They bring in S4. He's trying to TP out. Can they cancel it? They get the Hex on the Lion. Looks like they will go through. They get a kill there on the back of the Timber Saw, so it looks like every single lane going well for Alliance. They gave up first blood up top, but Bulldog still getting some really nice farm with these spiders. He's already found his level 5, now level 6.
That's pretty much what a Broodmother does in the lane, though. You rotate 3 people and you use some dust to be able to get the kill. He's still getting the levels like you talked about, so it doesn't really matter too much how, like, if you die 1 or 2 times early on as a Brood, as long as you get your nice timing on your levels, because he's going to be starting to put so much pressure in this lane.
Now down bottom, Illidan once again rotating around. This Luna has not found a home, jumping back and forth from the off lane to the safe lane and back again. And now it's going to be Loda taking some harassed. Will take a Lucent Beam. He might have to scoot on back. He does have that rage if needed. RMN from the backlines looking for the rotation, but not going to dive too deep under the tier 1. So it will be just a back off. Some safe farm from Illidan will be secured. Now RMN, he's still looking for this. They really want to go into Loda. You can feel it. They know they got to slow him down. They will go for a Lucent Beam. He's going to hop in and out of a creep back to almost full health. And Yol, with those poison sprays, a little bit off the mark. Yol's only found that level 3. It's pretty crucial for Shadow Demon to get up as many levels as possible into that poison.
Definitely, he's only level 3, like you said, so he doesn't do too much damage, and Armin is pretty much in the same boat. He's level 3 as well. The first nighttime will end in 50 seconds, so not having like level 4 and maybe halfway to level 5 at this point is going to be a little bit of a troublesome thing, because he can pretty much not do anything except for maybe just like picking up an Iron Talon and AFK jungling for a little bit. He hasn't been able to get much more than that one kill in the top lane on the Brood.
Oh, now mid lane, they're looking for something here, but S4, again, just going back in, winning that harass war. So Alchemist being way out-farmed by S4 here now at 7 minutes in. He's looking for more damage. Meanwhile, Illidan in some trouble there. Will get feasted on, will get silenced up. Can he run? There's the disruption there to buy some time. Yol actually taking a fair amount of damage. There's the Earth Spike here, and Illidan just going to have to sit there, get hexed up, get smacked down, and that kitty cat is going back to base. F5 now at a kill deficit, 3-1. It's not looking too keen here, and Alchemist just can't really find a whole lot of farm. Switching over to net worth, he's going to be second on the chart. Timbersaw surpassing him by a decent margin there, and that's an Alchemist that has been prioritizing that Greeble's Greed.
Radiant's top tower.
That's pretty much like, that's what you can see it happening now. You can see the Alchemist being behind the net worth, actually nearly behind of 2 people, and that's something that shouldn't really happen at this point in the game. Normally at 8 minutes into the game, you see the armlet being completed. It's almost going to be done, but it's still going to be fairly delayed, all things considered. He doesn't even have any stacks to fall back on. He already cleared the 1 stack he had before, so he doesn't have any comeback mechanic in the jungle, and Broodmother is now going to be going in and contesting his lane, his farm in the jungle as well.
Yeah, this is all according to Alliance's plan. All they want to do is just get a really, really sizable lead early on, and they know that, you know, an Alchemist, he can kind of carry this, but Luna needs so much time in lane, needs so many levels, needs so much farm before she's really able to go through and be that huge carry, whereas Alliance, they're hitting their power spike early, and they know if they completely starve out the map, Dire are going to have such a tough time climbing back into this.
Definitely, and Alliance is kind of just doing that thing where they're like, okay, you can only get farm on one hero. They're going to be prioritizing getting farm on the Luna right now. But the Alchemist, you can see he's pretty much going to be scared from now on to go into his own jungle, and that's a lot of camps that he's going to be able to miss, as they have a very limited area to farm now, because the Alchemist is going for the offlane camp, and the Luna obviously taking the offlane himself. So they have a big part of the map that's just like denied for them completely.
Yeah, but now back in the mid, S4 continuing to apply pressure. Will Timber Chain in? Do they go deep for this? It looks like the Night Stalker will be flapping away, pops out that Void. So S4 taking a pause button for now, but still a lot of damage sprayed out, and RMN feels so unsafe going back through. EGM, can he finish the job? Looks like he wants to go in. He's got that one Blink Sprite there, bringing the Chakram, and Ricky will get a kill. BZZ not going to rotate quick enough to get anything off the back of this, and we'll just get pinged away. And that's going to be Alliance once again getting something for free and not having to pay any price for it. Okay. BZZ has to go into that Chemical Rage and may look to turn things onto S4, but again, no points in that Unstable Concoction. They got very little lockdown for that Slippery Timbersaw.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think they're going to be aiming for killing the Timbersaw anytime soon, as the only option they have for doing that is going to be the Night Stalker when he gets his silence up. But so far he's gone for 202, so he doesn't have the silence, meaning that the Timbersaw doesn't have anything to worry about right now.
Yeah, and look at Admiral Bulldog. He's going here. He's completely fine cutting the wave, not scared of anything. And down here in the bot lane, Loda as well, getting some really, really nice farm. His net worth is keeping up, so you got the Alchemist on the top of the chart. No surprise, but the next 3 spots belong to the Radiant.
Yeah, and they're pretty much just like Fantastic5 is in a position where they're just
Bulldog.
dispersing the farm.
Absolutely just chunking down the Night Stalker, spraying out the webs. He's going to die. He can't run from this. You can't run from the spider. He chases you down. And that's going to be Broodmother picking up her 2nd kill of the game. So for a Brood that had to give away first blood, definitely making the space.
Yeah, and this is just Admiral Bulldog on the move. He's level 11. The only one who can even like go near him in the jungle is going to be Pasha on the axe, and everyone else who comes by, who rotates around, who takes a look in the jungle, they're going to be gone and they're going to be killed.
Yeah, and we have this Axe here who's sitting. We'll be picking up that Vanguard first, so a little bit more survivability is, oh god, the mid lane just getting brutalized. BZZ cannot survive against this damage as they rotate in Loda. So again, you know, what can you really do up against this? The Ricky, he got us spooked, but EGM is completely still fine. Like, there's nothing they can do to punish Alliance right now. How much longer do you think F5 have to sit back and play safe? Because it seems like the longer they do that, the more of their map gets controlled by Bulldog.
I actually don't have an answer
Oh,
for this,
Ake,
because
he is going to get blown up. They have to bust everything for that, but Illidan gives his life. There's the Eclipse popped out, the Lucent Beam to follow suit. They get the kill on a support Lion. They lose their position 1. Not worth whatsoever. Now, Yol sitting in the trees. I don't think S4 knows he's there. They think maybe he TP'd out, but for now. Just going to be sitting safe. Doesn't have enough mana for the TP, but he can sit back and wait. He's got no pressure. We'll just walk back into lane. But still, that Luna going down is pretty detrimental. That was her 3rd death of the game.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
and that was pretty much the only thing that actually like went okay for them in the start. But now the Luna also being pretty underfarmed in the lane. 2,000 gold behind of the Nikes. You have the Broodmother obviously still matching up with the Alchemist. So the Alchemist is starting to get some farm, but even the Radiant's timing is going to be like maybe like 18 to 20 minutes at this point. So the one thing that's going good for them, like the Alchemist getting some farm, is just not going to be enough because Armen doesn't really have any huge impact, and now they're going to go in the jungle with Broodmother as well as the Ricky trying to find something. BCC once again going to be scared about going into the jungle and, you know, more and more farm just being taken away from them.
Now, EGM may get revealed here. There is a sentry ward, so you can see our men. They got eyes on him. They know kind of where he's at. They don't really know how much of a crew he's got on his back, though. As for, again, he's level 9 here. The Alchemist picks up that level 10, so slightly out-leveling, but definitely not going to win the farm war going down. As S4 completely fine to just 1v1 the Alk. He's got that chemical rage up in 1 second. Will pop it, but to bring in Bulldog there, the Spider Queen, going to be doing her magic. There will be a defensive disruption, trying to save BZC's life for now. S4 does end up going down. They use everything. The full kit coming out, and finally the call to pick up the free gold on the Spiders, but it looks like Alliance will have to back off. They lose 1. Bulldog maybe in some trouble as well, gets called up, gets battle hungered up, and will get smacked down. Luna finally picking up a 2nd kill here in this match. And that's going to be Alliance getting scared. They wanted to go in. It looked like a good initiation, but they didn't pick a cohesive target. They didn't really decide how many of their spells they wanted to bust, and in the end, they get punished.
Yeah, that's basically what Fantastic5 has to do. They have to rotate pretty much all of their heroes to be able to take those fights. You saw the Night Stalker getting a long silence off onto Timbersaw, and he pretty much just couldn't do anything. He just stood there and let them kill him pretty much. So 2 good kills on the side of Fantastic5. Got to bring them back slightly into the game. They're still going to be a little bit behind, but it's a good road. It's a good way back.
Now we got Ricky Bombs coming in. There will be a jump as, okay, the call comes off. Pasha getting some nice spins, but may not live through this. There's the call. EGM running for his life as Loda. He's completely okay to tank this up. The Vanguard on the Axe proving to be a little bit too much, and they bring in RMN looking for that void there. They get the Battle Hunger off. Loda actually in some serious trouble. They got that. Oh, okay, there's the Eclipse popped out once again. Illidan just unloading there to get that Loda. And that's going to be, once again, the Luna looking strong here. She's picked herself up that Morbid Mask. Now, she's going to go for that Helm with the Dominator to stack herself up some Ancients and some Camps. Is this Luna actually proving to be alright, or did she already lose too much of an advantage early?
I think it's fine. I mean, that's pretty much the first Eclipse we saw. He got the Nikes killed in the safe lane Nikes, so it's okay for now. As long as you can keep getting kills, it's gonna be fine for them. Armen is also doing a great job. They're rotating around beautifully from the side of Fantastic5. They just have to keep this pressure up. When Alliance tries to go for these like small engagements, they have to keep on just denying it. And now with Pasha having that Vanguard like we talked about, very, very tanky, very hard to kill. He's gonna have a blink on top of that. You have the Radiance coming out now as well. Gonna make them even stronger than they are just now by the like basic of the spells. So they're gonna be in a decent position, like coming further into the game.
Alright, smoke up here. Loda wants to find something. He hasn't found a kill in the last couple of minutes, and he's definitely searching here. He's going to go through. There's no vision to scout this out. Looks like the smoke will end up popping. They pop into Yol. It's not the kill they wanted, but they'll certainly take it here. Now, it looks like they don't have to commit anything big. He goes for the defensive disruption. They're going to have to buy some time here. Ricky with the tricks of the trade will secure the kill, bringing it on to Loda there. Now that's going to put him at 2, 1, and 3. He's only died once, and he's finding a lot. He does have that completed armlet. Looks like he is picking up the Ogre Club. We'll see what he wants to go for next. Here is Illidan, laying in the damage. BCC with the Acid Spray, trying to defend this. They don't have the Eclipse, though, and it seems like they may just have to sit there and watch their 2 mid tower die.
But Alchemist.
Gonna go for that self-stun, not gonna get punished now. The nighttime is popped. Maybe they look to dive deep for this. Meanwhile, Admiral Bulldog still sitting there in the wings, invis, and waiting for someone to come back. Low health, now jump. They go for the call, not gonna complete it. His S4 will take a Battle Hunger. He's got that Timber Chain zipping back up, but oh, he goes in with the Illusion Rune to block in the Axe. Nice play there from S4. Very quick thinking, and now Bulldog is going to be sitting there in the trees, but he knows he's all alone. There is going to be the Acid Spray popped out. Oh, they get at least some side of this. They know he's got to be around. He will reveal right now. They pop out the Sentry. He's going to be sitting there, and they go for the call. It's not going to connect. There's a dust. There's more Sentries. Bulldog completely caught unaware. He just has to sit there and deal with 3 hero harass. They bring in the rest of Alliance in the back lines. They are able to go through and get the kill on the Alchemist with the Timber Saw. Now the Eclipse unloaded. He goes for the Timber Chain. Will he get out? It looks like he's able to do so. Alliance, it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, but definitely favoring them as that Alchemist goes down for the 2nd time this game.
Yeah, it's always good when you can kill the Alchemist. The Broodmother doesn't matter as you can still get a lot of farm, still having a decent amount of items. And the Alchemist, obviously, with the Radiance timing just coming online, you want to be able to do as much as possible with it. He got a lot of farm, like, on the Spiderlings, though. I think he killed, like, 10 Spiderlings. That's a lot of farm for an Alchemist to get. So something that Broodmother does have to worry about, Bulldog coming further into the game. Obviously, you don't want to feed the Alchemist too much with that.
Alright, so let's take a look at this Luna item. She does have that Helm of the Dominator. She's got that little net creep behind her, trying to help these camps and farm up and whatnot. So she should be able to stack up her Ancients and start taking those relatively soon, and that's going to be a nice comeback mechanic. The problem is Alliance, they are so in control of the map right here. They got Bulldog farming around. Again, he feels really comfortable going through into the jungle, but look at the vision Dire have put out over here in the Radiant Jungle. They've got this combo of wards, but just everywhere on the map is just speckled with wards. This is Dire saying, we need to take back our space. We realize it's a high priority for Alliance to go in and control the map, and if we take that away from them, they lose a lot of their edge on us.
Yeah, definitely. That's going to also buy the Alchemist as well as the Luna the time in the jungle that they need to be able to get more items, because even though the Radiance is up on Yol, he still wants to, on BCC, sorry, he still wants to be able to get even more farm. He wants to get that Manta style, potentially, the Octarine core, so he's not done in any way to be able to get more farm. And meanwhile, on the top lane, the line is putting some pressure on the tower, may be able to take the tower pretty easily, but they get contested as Axe comes in, has the blink dagger available, so the initiation power is going to be there from the side of Fantastic5. If they can get a hold of something like S4, that could be not so difficult to kill.
Now, Ricky here does have that Lifestealer inside, but is going to be scouted out underneath that sentry ward. I don't think he realizes how much vision is in this Dire jungle. It's kind of absurd.
Sentries everywhere. Literally everywhere.
Now there will be a smoke. It is revealed by the scan from the Radiant, so at least they catch wind of something coming their way. They will back off. Going together here. Ake finds that Invis rune, so it's a nice little gank duo. They could look for the Luna here on the bottom lane. That will be the play. They bring in Admiral Bulldog. They're just plunking him down. Oh, goodbye, Luna. That's a killing spree now for your Ricky. And another tower going the way of Alliance.
Yeah, that seems a little bit unnecessary, honestly, because they saw that they were moving like into the middle area from the Dire jungle, so they should have probably known that Illidan was going to be in trouble down there. But either way, he's going to be dropped down. That's a good kill once again from the side of Alliance. Obviously, Admiral Bulldog being part of most of the kills so far, and he's going for that typical like Echo Saber right click kind of build. Will most likely go for BKB and next time imagine, so he can just go in and be the frontliner.
Yeah, he wants to fight. He wants to make space. He wants heroes to go up against him, and he just wants to contest them. So we'll see what happens here. Alright, a little bit of another lag spike, but hopefully not going to be too much of an issue again going forward. There we go. So, you know, we're looking overall 10-6. Alliance still leading in terms of kills, but the net worth is actually quite close. Sub 2,000 lead here at almost 20 minutes in the game. That's not a huge advantage going either way. And with the Alchemist now picking himself up some decent farm, now finding some space, do Alliance have to be very scared? Are they playing on a timer?
Honestly, I think Fantastic5's late game is very, very powerful because Nyx is good late game, but against Luna as well as Alchemist, he may be having some troubles because there's also decent axe upgrades on the side of Fantastic5. So late game, they're definitely going to be in a little bit of a better position, I feel like, but it's not going to be coming before like 50, 60 minutes into the game where Alliance may start dropping off. So I don't think they're going to be too worried right now. They just want to continue putting pressure, taking these tower advantage things they've been taking so far. They've taken all the tier 1 towers as there's no towers down from their side, so they are still being
Oh, they go in with the blink call here. They will find out Loda. He's completely alone. There's nothing they can do about this. The Ricky looks like he could come in. He's trying to man up with this. He's got the armlet going, but it's only going to buy him a little bit of time. The smoke screen actually doing a lot of work. He jumps into EGM. He's able to get away with a fraction of his health. EGM there to bail him out. No, he's underneath the sentry ward. They know he's there somewhere. They get the call. EGM going to have to sit there. He will end up going down. It's a double kill. Oh, God, that was bloody. It was almost a big save from Ambulance Ricky. But again, the vision from Fantastic5 proven too fantastic.
Yeah, that was a good attempt from the side of EGM, definitely. Almost saving him, but just almost isn't going to be good enough. They're going to take a tier 1 tower off that, potentially even taking the tier 2 tower as 2 people being down. They know that there's one in the bottom lane, as Broodmother is in the jungle there, so they should be pretty content with maybe pressuring a little bit more, but they're going to be backing off, just you know, taking the safe approach.
Alright, so again, Fantastic5 feeling good about that. They're almost evened up in terms of kills, in terms of net worth. It actually tipped in favor of the Dire for the first time in a little bit. XP, similar story. Now, rotating around, we do have a nighttime. Will Nightstalker be able to find anything off of this? Alliance seems like they're playing a little bit safer now.
I think Fantastic5 is going to be pretty content with just playing a little bit safe as well, because you have the Alchemist very close to getting his Manta stall up. You want the Luna to be able to get that BKB. He just needs the recipe to be finished up, and you're going to take this this double stack so you can go a little bit closer to that. So I think Fantastic5 is going to be okay with not getting too much out of the next 5 minutes. Oh, but Alchemist, spiders.
Yeah, he's burning him down. That is so much gold going his way. It's just flying into his inventory. And off the back of that, he picks up the recipe for his Manta style. He's going to have the ultimate orb as well. So that's a Manta on top of Radiance. And, you know, Alk as well as Axe, very nice counters to the Broodmother. Broodmother was picked up 3rd in the draft. Do you think that was Alliance just, you know, revealing too much too quickly? And speaking of that, Ake just caught with his pants down here in the top lane. RMN going back through. There will be a Hex. And now RMN actually booking off. I think he could have finished off that kill, but he was scared. He didn't know who else Alliance were bringing into the fight.
What you said about the Broodmother pickup, I think it was fine, but you're kind of getting to the point where Alchemist has the item that counters him the most with the Radiance, as well as just the Acid Spray. Obviously, Axe at any point in the game, it was an amazing final pick from the side of Fantastic5, because it's always going to be good against Broodmother. But it's okay as long as they just be careful about how much they give the Alchemist, because so far they're just giving him a lot of good.
Oh, EGM, he might be stuck here. He pops into the tricks of the trade. The dust will go through. EGM is going to be not revealed, but just gets completely purged off by that shadow damage. And oh god, Yol doing really well here. 0-1-7. So he's been having a lot of kill participation with his team, and they're looking for Loda here. They want to go deep. S4 trying to zone away with those chakrams, zipping every which way, back and forth. But it's nighttime. Night Stalker's time to shine, and he's ripping apart this tower with the help of his team.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think Alliance can actually contest this, honestly.
No, they have to sit back. In Alliance, they had such a tremendous start. They had Broodmother ratting out tier 2s at, you know, very, very close to the start of the game. She was cutting the wave, she was fighting, she was going push, and Bulldog seems like he's slipping a little bit in terms of how far he's able to go into this wave, just because of the Alk Radiance, because of the Axe finally coming online.
He has to pretty much just play scared this game, I feel like, because he can't use his Spiderlings to actually fight into anything, because whenever he sends the Spiderlings into a fight, he's actually just losing more than he gains, because maybe he gets 200, 300 more damage into the fight, but then you feed Alchemist 2,000 gold because 20 Spiderlings dying in a matter of 2 seconds. So definitely not something he can do. He does have the BKB up now, will be a little bit stronger in terms of his own right click, but they still need to get that one more item. The life still needing to get that Desolate online will be up in 1,000 gold. I think that's going to be the queue time for them having enough damage to actually go in properly. And then they just need to try and shut down Fantastic5 as quick as possible.
Now, what's your game plan for that? Shut down Fantastic5. That is certainly an action-packed statement. This team is an open qualifier team that grinded their way up through, well, just assuming the second round, which they did end up making through, 8 best of 1s and 2 best of 3s there without dropping an important game there. I think they dropped 1 in the finals and went to 3 games. But, I mean, they have shown absolute control over the EU region against all other open qualifier teams. Do you think that's, you know, a lot easier said than done? I mean, Alliance are strong. They've proved themselves as a tier 1 team time and time again, but, you know, they might be a little bit rusty here. And F5, they've been playing for the last 4 days non-stop with their eyes on the prize of TI6.
Definitely that does play into something. They're going to be a little bit robust coming into this game. And obviously Alliance, when you look at the game right now, I think they are actually on a little bit of a timer right now, because you have the biggest items coming out from Fantastic5 very soon. You have the Aghanim's Night Stalker, and when that comes up, I think Alliance is going to be having pretty much an impossible time to get a proper initiation, because they don't have any blink initiating hero. They pretty much just have the full-on run at you. And now Fantastic5 trying to get the Roshan. If they can manage to do this, it's going to be very difficult for Alliance. They're going to be pretty much relying on pickoffs. With the Ricky together with the lifesteal, I think, because they don't really have any 5-on-5 engagement right now.
All right, Roshan going down to F5. They got that acid spray there, taking it down quite quickly. It looks like Luna makes a slot for it. She definitely wants this Aegis. They are going to bring in Bulldog. Oh, the spiders get jumped on, so Pasha not going to find the big prize, but the little babies go his way. That little chunk of gold will be very successful for him. He's going to go through, pick himself up a lot of items there, and, well, Illidan now sitting on that BKB on the helm with 1,500 more gold to work with. What do we see the Luna go for next?
Probably just a basic stat item, something like a Manta style, I imagine.
The scan reveals that Yol is in the trees, so Alliance, they know at least a couple more heroes are waiting in the wings. They're not going to completely dive in for this one. There will be a Night Stalker nighttime popped out. They're looking for something here, as Illidan looking to charge up does have that Eclipse at the ready. Lag.
Yeah, Fantastic5, they're playing pretty well because they know that Alliance can't take a straight up 5-on-5 engagement right now. And you see, like Alliance, they're trying to find like one single pickup they can go for and then backing off. But when they know that Fantastic5 is gathered up, they don't really have a good way to actually jump them right now because Pasha with the blink with the fourth axe, he's gonna be able to control the big damage deals on the side of Alliance, no problem. Even if he gets jumped on, he can just force off towards them, so he doesn't really have any issues going forward. Oh, Bulldog.
Bulldog's gonna go through. They know he's there. Do they bring in the vision? They don't have anything there on the Night Stalker. You wouldn't be surprised to see him pick up gems soon. Oh, unstable concoction flying every which way. It will eventually connect on the Broodmother. Let's keep our eyes on that. Gonna be going in. Bulldog.
That's the longest thing in the world.
He's in for a surprise here.
Radiant's bottom
Yeah,
tower
it's coming.
is under attack.
Yeah, there he goes. All right, he's knocked in the head, but yeah, he'll be
Radiant's
completely
bottom
fine.
tower has fallen.
Knight has spider respawn. Easy.
All right, and Loda is farming up here. He's getting what he needs. He's talked about that Desolator being the jump point. Now they smoke up EGM. He's got his buddy in his belly, and they're looking for a jump. But like you mentioned, F5 have fantastic control, and they also still do have that Luna Ags online if they catch out a bunch in a small AoE. Oh, they go for the smoke. They miss it immediately. They know Ricky's nearby. They know something's going down, but F5, their plans for this jump initiation are foiled. Now Ricky walks underneath that. He's going to be going in. The pick on Yol is immediate on the back line. They bring an S4 as well. Looks like they might be able to get the kill on the Axe. He goes in. They will end up picking him off on the back lines. It looks like Ricky was able to go through. Still alive there. Pops out some vision onto this cliff. They want to make sure they get Illidan, who is BKB'd up. Is hasted up. It's really hard to get a hold of this Luna. Luna wanted to dunk on Ake. They should be able to get the kill. They will get the kill. On the back lines, though, BZZ in some trouble. EGM still alive, and Timbersaw able to secure another kill in this fight. He's still hunting. They want to get Luna, whose haste rune is almost about to expire. Can they catch up with her? That's a daunting task. They bring in the spiders. The body blocks are so real. Now the Timber Chain comes out. The Chakram's going through. They got the Night Stalker on the back lines, but there's too much damage. Illidan forced to fight until her last breath, but she goes down. She has the Aegis, but it looks like they should be able to control her up here. She doesn't have her ult. She has one Lucent Beam, one shot, one opportunity, and one free trip back to the fountain. Man.
Wow, what an engagement. I mean, starting out with the failed smoke, obviously that was a little bit unfortunate. They didn't have any detection, so they couldn't actually spot out the Ricky. And then they pretty much just like panicked, it seems, from the side of Fantastic5. They split up a little bit. Alliance managed to get a couple of quick pickoffs with the Timbersaw going in together with the Lifesteal, getting some quick 1-2 kills. And then Fantastic5, I mean, they pretty much stayed around. They couldn't disengage because Alliance, they have such an amazing chase potential. You saw the body blocks from the Spiderlings as well onto Luna. So there's just no way they get out of that fight, and they just like take more and more from the side of Alliance.
Yeah, and Alliance has a pretty easy job. Once they get those wipes, once they get that space, they can easily turn that into objectives. So Bulldog going through. We'll spend a little bit more time farming up, wants the next item, which will be an Assault Cuirass. And then we should see Brood exercising a lot of pressure onto these lanes, picking off the remaining tier 2s, and perhaps going for some tier 3 siege relatively shortly. Now looking at the overall net worth chart, it is going to be tipping back towards 0, about a 2,000 lead for F5, but rapidly switching in favor of Alliance. They fumbled a little bit. Now Pasha, in some trouble, going to force staff himself away. He takes a defusal charge from the Ricky. He goes for the call, but there's the tricks of the trade from the Ricky doing that slow, steady damage. He's silenced up. He's walking around. He's looking for anything, something. There will be a TP in from the Alchemist. Now he's looking for anything here, but Timbersaw with the Whirling Death will secure another kill as BZZ, sitting around there in the Chemical Rage, just trying to farm up, will not be able to find any reverse picks on this. Hey, madkingz, you there, buddy?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if I was actually muted in game. I shouldn't be, but yeah, stuff. Either way, but Alliance is once again just getting a little bit more off the map, and right now they just need to keep on that pressure that they're trying to put up on the side of Fantastic5. As Fantastic5, they do have those BKBs up, but they have already used the initial charges, and Alliance they can pretty much just like wait them out, try and engage afterwards. But Night Stalker Aghanim's will still come out in a couple of seconds, as that's going to be the next thing that comes up. When they get a gem on top of that, they're going to be in a very, very good position to just like make sure that Ricky is never going to get those like sneak engagements with the lifestealer.
Yeah, but that does mean they have to have RMN around at all times, and you know, Alliance, this notorious team for split pushing and ratting it out. They can have Broodmother pushing in one lane, which you need the gem for, and they can have Ricky and Loda in another lane pushing out. So you really have to invest your resources wisely, figure out where the most important pick on the map is.
Definitely. And like speaking of the important picks, definitely, I mean, if you can spot out someone who's definitely like separated from the R-men on the Night Stalker, that's going to be the queue time. But you can see Fantastic5, they're just like moving as a group. They know that they're going to be having to stick together to be able to actually like counterplay what Alliance does. And Alliance, they're currently just, you know, smoked up, trying to wait for someone to approach the jungle. But so far, they're just going to be, you know, sticking together, sticking to the guns and going for the bottom lane.
Now EGM has that gem, taking away all of this hard-earned Dire Vision. We saw how unbelievably incredible the Dire Vision was earlier on, but now it's all getting slapped away. Alchemist going up to TP and take the farm here out of this top lane. Now his side of progression is moving forward. He's found the Octarine. Looks like he could be going for that Assault Cuirass relatively soon as well. But Broodmother, well, she's feeling good there. She's tanky. She's got that Assault Cuirass, and she's got almost 2k gold on top of that, and she's ready to push. You can feel it.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Having
under
the
attack.
EC complete on top of the BKB, which still has 10-second charges, he hasn't actually been able to use it yet, because the last fights, like once they actually won a fight, he didn't have to use anything. He was just, you know, casually chasing someone, slowing them down, and then killing them off. So the AC being completed now, with the lifesteal like valuing a lot from that as well, he's actually also having a Hyperstone, so potentially going for Mjolnir, I imagine, since he already has an AC on his team.
He could go for that. I mean, if he really wants to go for a Moon Shard, that's a pick, but we'll have to see moving forward. Mjolnir would be a great item to keep up in terms of farm, to be able to push multiple lanes at once. And now Night Stalker, oh, he's going in. The rest of his team is in the wings. They don't have a smoke. They're just kind of strolling in. Ake with the Hex. Nice blink in from Pasha, but he's going to get silenced up. He goes for the call. It's not going to connect on anyone. S4 going to be laying in the damage. The Eclipse comes out from the Luna. They're looking for something here. S4 going to go Yules himself up in the air, buying some time here as Illidan's BKB will have to wear thin. S4 will be the casualty here. He goes for the deny on the Bloodstone, is able to get it on the back lines. Broodmother goes in for the kill onto the Shadow Demon. It's just a support, but it's worthwhile here. Now, can she slip away? She will take an unstable concoction. They bring in the Earth Spike, connecting onto 2. Can they follow this up? EGM, he's only a Riki, but Loda, there's the damage, fighting 1v1 with Illidan. This may be more than Loda can chew. He does have that Infest off cooldown, or rather on cooldown, so he can't get away here. He will end up falling. That's a gem there on the ground. Ake goes and picks it up. Now S4 back in the fight, going in, ripping apart Illidan. They will get the kill on the Luna. They're looking for BZZ as well. They should be able to find a Mantis himself, but it's not going to save the day. The body blocks are so there. Admiral Bulldog there with a double kill in that fight. It's a 5-man wipe. It cost them a Timbersaw using his Bloodstone, but that is definitely worthwhile as Alliance pick themselves up almost a 2k gold swing, almost a 8k XP swing. And that's a tier 3 pressure.
And that seems so weird from the side of Fantastic5, because they used the BKB, they used the ultimate on Luna in the start, and then they just stayed in the fight. I mean, they thought they could have killed Bulldog, but they knew that Timbersaw was going to be down for only 20 seconds. So they just stayed for so long, and then, you know, Timbersaw coming back and getting the last couple of kills. So Alliance is, you know, sweeping houses. Fantastic5, they don't really know when to back up in that situation.
Yeah, and Fantastic5 are a team that does not thrive confined to their base, so the more space Alliance have on the map, the better they're feeling.
Yeah, definitely. And right now they're looking so strong as they have these like big items coming out, where you even have the Broodmother going for the Skull Bashes, so you're going to see the Abyssal Blade coming out sometime soon, which is going to like mitigate even further what Luna can do with the BKB being active. So it's looking pretty grim from the side of Fantastic5 right now, as they're just, you know, throwing a lot of network to the side of Alliance. They have a 5k lead. The only one who's having a good amount of farm is the Alchemist, but he's 6-star right now. He has that Shiva Scar completed, he had it in the last fight, and he's not really going to be able to scale as effectively anymore. I mean, you know, Moonshot, Akinins for his team, great items, definitely. You have the Shadow Demon Axe, which is probably one of the better ones, but it's like small steps. It's not going to be like a huge item coming out.
Man, this Shadow Demon has not found a lot. 3 deaths, again, high kill participation, but still sitting at sub 2k net worth at 35 minutes in the game.
Oh man, support.
Yeah, absolutely. And, well, there will be a smoke here. As Dire now, they need to move, they need to make space for themselves, and it's going to come on the back of kills if they can find it. Broodmother would be a nice one. They do have the Night Stalker sitting there, has some dust, no gems. They know when the smoke pops. They're nearby, and the smoke will pop. Do they follow up here? Bulldog is going to just skirt back. He scouts out what's going on. They bring in, they're turning this fight. Immediate plop. They're looking for something. The disruption comes through. There will be the Eclipse popped up at the Luna. There's going to be the Yules and the Timbersaw once again. Loda, he's fighting. He may once again have bitten off more than he can chew. He's getting very, very low. He will fall, but Broodmother is still up, still fighting. Mega kill streak out for S4. They're chasing down Illidan. The short BKB is not going to do enough here. Silence comes out, going to be taken off there as Illidan is able to walk out. Now Ake manning up here, taking on 2 heroes. Will end up paying the ultimate price, gets culled down. Now Bulldog, he's sitting there, he's chunked up, he's silenced up. Can he get back? He will fall. This could be a wipe going the other way as S4 getting low as well. EGM also starting to fall very, very low and will be chased back down. Do they have vision on the Riki? No. It looks like this will be the disengage, although they're going for the TP. Can RMN cancel it? He doesn't. No, okay. Either way, that was going to be a huge swing. Alliance, they looked to turn that fight offensively, but they didn't bring in enough damage. They didn't take into account that F5 were ready to unload everything for that.
That was pretty much the same situation as Fantastic5 was in like the last engagement, because Timbersaw, he was the first one going in and he instantly dropped down to like 20% HP, so he couldn't continue fighting, as it was pretty much just like bulldog together with the Lion trying to take some fights, but they just kited him around, and then eventually they can turn around because the spells comes off cooldown, the taunt came off cooldown from the Pasha.
Oh, I gotta interrupt you here. The Gem of True Sight on the floor as the Riki gets punished there. It does cost a couple of loosened beams, but Luna's totally fine with that. And that's going to be Luna doing very, very well here for herself. Definitely coming back in terms of net worth.
And that's important. Getting the gem back is definitely going to be like the biggest thing that Fantastic5 can get from any single kill, I think.
Yeah, and that's a lot of control. Now Night Stalker just picks up a freebie there. It's EGM's gem, a little bit of BM, taking the gem of the Riki to find the Riki. And it looks like the secondary Roche will go once again to F5 unless Radiant want to get their act together right about now.
I don't think they can contest this. I mean, you still have the Riki down, and they just gathered up in the bottom lane. The 3 people gathered up, so they're going to be giving this up most likely, as that's going to be a Roche for the side of, I guess, Luna's going to be the one picking it up. So he's going to be very, very hard to bring down now.
Yeah, Luna once again with the Aegis, she can dive a little bit deeper. And that's going to be BZZ. Now, like you mentioned, he's kind of 6-slotted. He's going to be sitting there. He can upgrade if he wants to take off the armlet, if he wants to get something else instead of the Shivas. I mean, it's still a new item, but picking up Ags for your teammates is going to be awesome. So he's picked himself up a decent chunk of gold. Once he hits that 4,200 mark, we'll see if he wants to go, who he gives the first Ags to.
I think the first one is going to be definitely the Shadow Demon Axe. One, because the Shadow Demon is just such a low HP target. You don't have any stats like you talked about earlier. He's having absolutely no items, as well as like having 3 demonic purges for the lifestealer especially, as well as a Timbersaw like keeping them in control through BKB. That's going to be amazing.
Alright, going back on in. Night Stalker, he's hunting. Now, Alliance playing very safe. I like this restraint exercise, especially with Admiral Bulldog. Such a fight-heavy build. He's probably frustrated that he hasn't been able to go in and fight for a little bit, but they've really got to choose these engagements carefully. Again, because F5, still very much alive. They can punish any out-of-positionness they see from Alliance.
Yeah, and they have so much to work with as well now, as the Luna just, being very, very aggressive in the pushes, because you have the Aegis, you have the Pasha like sitting behind you in case things go wrong. So they can be pretty much as aggressive as they want to. Alliance, they do have still some vision, they do still have that smoke. Oh, in the top lane.
They're going in. They get the jump here. It looks like we are going to have a lag spike coming out as Timbersaw is able to go through. That's the Night Stalker gem once again on the deck. Ake going to drain down that mana, pick up the gem, and secure that advantage back in favor of Alliance. This net worth chart has been absolutely wonky, going every which way. Still sitting very, very close to 0 here at 40 minutes in. This is anyone's game.
Yeah, this is definitely anyone's game. And
Ag
losing
synth
the
onto
gem again.
Luna.
Oh wait, Luna?
Ag
All
synth
right.
onto Luna first. She's got that big old Eclipse ready to spray through. And that is a huge portion of dire damage. I think I see why they did that. I think the Shadow Demon may be next on the list. It is still going to be a priority again, because it does bring so much control to these fights. But the Eclipse is just a little bit of a scarier engage tool, I think.
Definitely gives them a lot more damage. It's like kind of in the same way as a Mirana would burst, and you can use it on the axe as well when he goes in for taunt. So I guess that's going to be the play, like going for some kind of like small combo with like a blink axe taunt, and then instantly using the Luna Beam on him. It will do a lot of damage, definitely, but we'll see. I mean, there's no BKBs apart from the lifesteal's natural BKB, as well as the Broodmother's getting kind of low. So the Timbersaw is definitely going to be the one who they look to like force out with this like a mass amount of magic damage.
So Riki with that gem feeling very good and is going to be transitioning to more of that semi-carry role. He's doing pretty well in terms of what he needs to be doing in these fights, which is plop down that smoke screen, go in, get them backstabs, pop into the tricks of the trade, and now with that level 2 diffusal, he's going to be given that nice slow, given that nice purge.
Yeah, it's coming into effect pretty much every single time the BKBs run out from the side of Fantastic5. So Alliance taking a fight, it's like you have to just try and extend the fight for like 10 seconds so the BKBs end, and then once they do end, you can take a considerably good fight for the side of Alliance, because they have they're very, very, very huge damage dealers like the Timbersaw as well as the Riki. Having to do something, you can't do anything against the BKBs, obviously, so Timbersaw needs to just be forced to wait. As for he always goes in as the first one, he drops down very low, but it's going to be a little bit of a concern. I think the Octarine Core is going to be the next thing he goes for. Once he does have that, he's going to be able to actually sustain in the fights by having some HP like renewal with the spells he can just burst out, which is going to be good.
Alright, so looking in, Alliance finding a little bit of map space for themselves, but again, Admiral Bulldog probably still a little bit sour that he doesn't get to go. He doesn't get to rat just yet. Now mid lane, looks like he could be punished. They pop into the nighttime. They know he's on the cliff. Can they catch him out? He's got webs all through the trees, so the jukes are easy, but now he's out of webs. He has one more to spam. Will he be able to run back to the safety of his tier 2 tower? It appears so. But meanwhile, mid, Luna just sitting there, Illidan hammering away at this tier 3. It's only up to Aki. They will bring in S4. Going in, Timber Chain off the mark, so not able to zip out of there, but for now, going to be completely fine. There will be that defensive disruption onto Illidan to get those illusions coming out. Now there will be that cask coming out, rather unstable concoction. Ake gonna get 4-stepped away, the dunk off the mark. Admiral Bulldog looking to fight in that BKB form. They get the call here. Pasha, the armor can only do so much. There's gonna be the Ags coming out from the Luna. The Eclipse is dropped, and she's hitting hard. They get down the Lifestealer. Loda has to buy back for this, and it looks like it might not be enough. As S4, he's still in the front line to the fight. There will be a disruption cast out once again to get more illusions coming through. The Radiant's doing a lot of work coming out from that Alchemist, and now Loda getting very, very low. He cannot afford to go down here. That will be a dieback. He's raged up, has to go back to his fountain. Meanwhile, Illidan still feeling completely okay, has that Aegis, has another minute left on it, and S4 not able to do a whole lot there. If he zips back the chakra now, maybe he gets the Aegis burned. Can they follow this up? I don't know. Looks like they're going to have to try here. They're bringing the spiders. They're bringing the smoke cloud. EGM coming through. They will get that stun. They do have the finger. They have the hex if they need it, but the nice 4-staff away will save the Luna's life for now. They're going to go in with that Yule's trying to buy time on the Alchemist. He's going to be chemical raged up. They're looking for that slow. They're looking for the kill, but the nighttime out from RMN means they've got more initiation potential. Admiral Bulldog caught unawares. He doesn't have the BKB for 10 more seconds. Zip in. S4 going through. They get 2 very important kills. They're looking for more here. Nightstalker running away. He's going to be trying to heal up, but S4 just a little bit too tanky. They get that slow. Diffusal charge out once again. They will drop the Night Stalker gem on deck. It's going to be 4 down. F5 overstayed their welcome.
Yeah, definitely overstayed their welcome. That's going to be 4,000 gold in return to the side of Alliance. I mean, you still got the objectives, you got the rags, but you popped the Aegis, and once the Aegis was popped, I think that was pretty much going to be the signal for Fantastic5 to just completely disengage, because they already had what they wanted, but they tried to stay a little bit too much. They thought they could still fight, but obviously not having the BKBs ready, the Timbersaw able to find an engagement and then just like bursting them down to the ground, no problem.
Now S4 looking to make the most of this. They forced the buyback on the Alk. Loda did buy back again here, so it still is on cooldown now. Admiral Bulldog joining the party once again. Really wants to get the most out of this. Has that completed Abyssal like we talked about. Now Timber picking up that Octarine, so he's even more survivable. This is Alliance saying, we are not going to fall here. You are not going to take our base that easily. We are the Rat Lords here. We want to push. We control when the racks go down. And looking at overall net worth, it looks like it will be tipping back in favor of Alliance. This graph has been eerily close the entire game. Now Bulldog will get stunned up, will be able to take down the racks with the help of his spider buddies. And that's going to be everyone going back off. Alliance don't lose anything from that push. Again, previously they did have to buy back the Lifestealer, but for now, everyone's alive.
Yeah, everyone's alive, and they get the return. I mean, they get the racks in the return, so now it's going to be equalizing the objectives as well on the side of Alliance, and they got the better fight like last time around, as they got a lot of gold given back. Obviously, Fantastic5 is still in a small lead, but like we talked about earlier, I mean, it's never really been at any point where one team is like marginally ahead, right? It's always like a small lead.
Alright, now Alk here, he's picked himself up another chunk of gold. Has he gone for an Ag Synth on anyone else that we missed? Looks like Luna's still holding on to that. And no, everyone else still Ags free, so Alk really needs to step up. Does he go for the Ags? Nightstock already built his, so not going to double him up. Again, I think Shadow Demon's the next play here. Do you think Alk goes for another selfish item? Does he, you know, drop the BKB once it ticks down low? He does opt to go ahead and sell the armlet for the BKB, so he's got a little bit of room to wiggle around.
I think that's a good play, because the Timbersaw is really just being a huge issue to him, and having the 10-second BKB this late in the game is going to mean that S4 is going to have a very, very difficult time to actually get anything done, because so far, like, the one reliable target he could always go down and burst was the Alchemist, but now there's going to be 3 people with BKB, so S4 is going to be like at a little bit of a time where he's going to be having a difficult time in the fights. Obviously, once the BKB is withered down, it's going to be just fine, but he needs to wait for that time to happen, right?
Absolutely here now. Again, just overall net worth slightly in favor of Alliance, but again, that's 1 kill bounty. That's 2 minutes of lane farm, and XP really tipping in favor of the Radiant now at, you know, over 15,000. How do Alliance end the game? Do they have to go for full wipes? Can they rat this out? Do they have to just kind of play safe and wait for F5 to make a big mistake?
I think they need to just be able to like choose when the jumps fight. Like they need to be getting the jump on the side of Fantastic5 because if they can get a jump on an important hero like in the back lines before they can get the BKBs off, they can very easily kill them. It's just about using that Abyssal Blade from the Broodmother mainly.
Speaking of Broodmother, we got that MKB out, so Radiant's not going to be causing that much of a problem now. Okay, Loda, he's going to go through taking a stun. They want to focus him down right away. On the back lines, Yol getting chunked there. Bulldog doing some serious work. They do lose the Lifestealer. No buyback on him. It looks like Alliance may have to disengage here. Bulldog running away as fast as he can, but he's revealed. They got everything here. Now EGM jumping in, trying to do the best he can to make some space, but does get culled down. They bring in the Lion Finger on the back lines. Looks like they will lose the Axe in the end. And now they're looking for more here. S4, he's still up. He's still fighting. They want to drain down this Night Stalker. He's going to take a Yules. He's going to take a kill. And now Bulldog on the back lines will end up falling here. It's just S4 left to his own devices here. Lion getting force-staffed away. He's burning. Looks like Aki will end up falling. And that's going to be another kill going the way of the Alchemist. S4 just has to book it on out of here. Can't afford to go down here. Has 23 Bloodstone charges. May have to suicide, but not till the bitter end. Going to be sitting there taking a lot of Moonglaive. Stunned in place. Zipping back in. In fact, wants to turn this. Can he go in? Illidan is a big, big target. There's another stun. Dodged out by the Yules. Timbersaw making some serious space. Blinking away. Going back on in. There was another BKB charge by the Luna. Not quite sure that was needed.
He wanted to try and get the kill on S4, thinking that S4 may have been looking to turn around on Luna because they were very, very close to kill each other on both sides. But obviously, S4 realizing that if he went back in, the BKB would have just been popped by Luna and then he would have been killed. It is a 5-second BKB, so the charges doesn't really matter at this point. It's just a cooldown right now. But obviously, Illidan, just in case of emergency using the BKB, I guess you can call it.
Yeah, I mean, that BKB ticking low. It's already at 5 seconds, so I guess it's not the worst thing in the world to just keep using those charges whenever it's on cooldown. And now the Roshan is back up. Very quick respawn there. It's going to be another Aegis, and this time Cheese.
And Luna's also going to be picking up the Skadi on top of all of the stat items she already has. So Luna's going to be very, very difficult to bring down now. It's going to be pretty much like 3-point-something K HP. And even though you have a Timbersaw, like Timbersaw with the Shiva's Guard and his natural spells, is not going to be able to do all that damage like in a matter of like a few combos. So Illidan is going to be very, very difficult to bring down. And like getting a Satanic as the next item potentially, like when the Aegis finally at some point drops down, I don't think it's going to be easy to take this Luna down.
Yeah, certainly not. That Luna becoming a real problem. Luna scales up so well in the late game. Had a tough start, but did manage to find a chunk of farm. Now if you look at the top couple of net worth heroes, it's all big, the mids and the cores keep themselves up. And well, Admiral Bulldog surpassing the Lifestealer by a lot, which, it's fine as long as Loda's getting some decent farm, but he's starving there. He's only really got 3-4 items.
Yeah, that's pretty much the problem on the side of Alliance, because the top net worth hero, yeah, you have the Timbersaw who has a lot of farm, but in most cases in the fights when they actually do happen, he can't use this farm for anything because of the BKBs being out, and the Lifesteal is going to be the one who has to like actually do the damage, but he's falling behind very, very quickly, as you said. So
now Illidan, just look at this tower go. The Fortify is popped out. It looks like the zip back in. S4 doesn't want to give this tower away for free, but he knows he can only zone so effectively. Zipping in and out, casting that Shiva's Guard, but in the meantime, Illidan not phased here again. Oh god, they bring in the Loda Bomb. He's going to drop it down. It looks like they may get a kill on the back of this. Yol is going to fall down, but Illidan gets the kill onto the Lion. Loda to fall as well. Loda down, no buyback. This could be it, as S4 going to get punished up as well. BKB's flying every which way. Bulldog, he's looking to fight, but he's against 3. Can he really do this? He's against 4 now. S4 joins the party once again. Broodmother is able to go through and get a kill onto the Axe, but there's so many more targets here. They get down the Night Stalker as well. Now Illidan could be getting kind of low. EGM joins the party once again. He's getting low. He can't afford to go down here. That's going to be a Lion dead. Once again, Ricky, Lion, Lifestealer, no buyback. Timbersana running for his life, going to get sprayed down. Illidan has that Eye of Scotty online, doing so much work, and now Admiral Bulldog forced to watch his own racks fall. Not a situation you want to be in if you're Alliance, but this may be it, as Illidan will burn that Aegis, but just coming back with full health, full mana, and able to take this set of racks here. They know there's no buyback on the Lifestealer. Now they're going to be going through. They do pop out that Chakram, so BCC might be taking a little bit of damage, but with the Octarine, he's healing up quite effectively, and Bulldog has to be very, very careful where he chooses to fight. He's got that insatiable hunger, but he's going to get controlled up. He can't afford to go down here, but he might not have much of a choice here. He's looking for something there, trying to get as most lifesteal as possible. And now on the back lines, they're going to be taking the attention here to S4, who's slow. He pops out that Shiva's Guard, walking in, maybe takes out the Courier. No, just going to pop that BKB. He has the Boots of Travels. Can he get to a safe spot, though? That's the question. He blinks all the way back on through. He's looking for the jukes, and it looks like he will end up finding them. Meanwhile, there are creeps in the Dire base, but I don't think that's enough.
That was such a back and forward fight from both teams, but like neither team actually getting dropped down. But the thing is, Bulldog as well as S4, they're actually the ones taking damage in the fights, because you saw the Alchemist. I mean, he was tanking all of the spells, but nothing actually hurt him. So you could never really do anything to him. And obviously we had the Illidan with the Aegis, so they didn't really care. They still got the racks, and it was pretty much like everyone else dying, just like the two sets of cores in both teams, just man fighting each other forever.
All right, sitting back here. We do have the Night Stalker now sitting up. He's got a couple items to himself, but you know, our big leader is now going to be that Luna, who has finished off the Butterfly, now picking up that Demon Edge. Do we see a Rapier coming out, or is that going to be something a little bit more plausible?
I think it's going to be an MKB. Like, MKB on Luna is pretty much like the same as getting an MKB on Jericho. It's such a value item because of the small bashes you can get from it, especially against Timbersaw. If you can get a bash when he's trying to Timber Chain, you can like stop him from actually getting the Timber Chain off. Which is the main thing. I think is going to be a pretty big thing. Also, like Nikes, you can get the small bashes on him and like things like that. So I think it isn't going to be like a YOLO item, but just, you know, casual damage.
Yeah, I mean, I think F5 were in a position where they know they're ahead. They know they can push in, they can get something done, but they can't completely YOLO this. They know that Alliance are going to fight to the bitter end. Now, they do have EGM, once again, with that surprise inside. There's going to be a scan here. It will not reveal anyone in the vicinity. So the smoke coming through. Can they get this around here? S4 smoke pops. He wants something here, but who does he charge in on? Looks like he's going to try to 1v1 the Axe, and to some success. Now EGM will get revealed here. They bring out Loda. Immediately the Riki is down. They go for the finger here. They want the Night Stalker. They will be able to get him most likely, but man, that absolute decimation ult coming out from Illidan. He's locked in place now. RMN somehow still alive, will end up bursting down to the Whirling Death. They will get down the Luna as well. She has buyback. Now Bulldog getting very, very low. He wants to live. He's scampering away. Yol looking for something there. The Battle Hunger may take him down. He's getting super, super low, but will end up living through that. Now BZZ gonna get controlled. Can they get the kill here? He's trying to heal up with the Octarine and will end up going down. Suicide there is gonna be to that unstable concoction. So in the end, 3 down for F5. They all have buyback though. That's the difference. Where Alliance, they're all dead forever. And now Yol, he will join the party. They're looking for Axe here. They want to make it 5. Looks like Axe will be able to go through and TP back to his base. So in the end, Alliance picking up a 3k gold swing. XP swing actually goes in favor of F5 on that one.
Yeah, that was like S4 just like not backing down, continuing to fight. He has 30+ stun charges right now. He picked up that Acronym set instead of the EO set, which I think was the greatest thing he could have done, because he needed damage, and like having that secondary chakram just proves enough to actually bring down BCC finally, because in the last engagement you saw he didn't have enough damage to actually kill BCC, but now he definitely does, and he can even go for like a late game item. It's not unheard of to go for like a Dagon in the late game, because you need to be continuing to just output the damage as a Timbersaw, right? So something we could be seeing happening.
Now Bulldog, he's trying to rat with his very last breath. The Fortify coming out. There will be a nighttime here. S4, he's manning up. Now on the back wings, they don't have the Lifestealer. He's still going to sit there waiting for a courier. He has to get brought in by someone. He's got that Infest at the ready. Now so it's just going to be these two heroes sitting there. They got backup from the Lion, but Ake, he's super, super squishy. They're going to have to back up. They get the call here. Bulldog may have overstayed his welcome. They're looking for more. S4, can he just be a man here? Looking for the kill on Tapasha. They got the Hex. He's going to go in the BKB. BKB on BKB action over here. Ake will end up following there. Does get the Earth Spike there onto the Luna, holding her in place for now. But it looks like this is going to be going. They get 2 kills. Alliance, they're holding this. They're showing that they're very much in control, as S4 not backing down under any circumstances. May get punished here as Illidan has 10-second cooldown on that ult. I don't think they pop it just for S4, but it's definitely something that Alliance know they don't want to fight up against. They bring in Loda now. He does have that rage going for himself, and is going to smack on the racks. They really don't want to overcommit here. Zip in. S4 maybe in some trouble. Is going to get called up. Looks like he will get culled down. Luna getting the kill for that. And now Loda left to his own devices. He can't afford to die here. He's 4-staffed out. Nice Earth Spike. Buying some time, but Loda may still hit the grave. It looks like he will tick down eventually. Alchemist getting the kill. Finally, a blink away from Lion will secure that escape for him for now at least, but that's Lifestealer down for the 9th time this game. No buyback on him once again. Unstable Concoction coming out. Another fantastic Earth Spike, but it looks like they might be able to chase him. They're not giving up here. They go in with the Lucent Beam. Another 4-staff down to the low ground. They're really trying to keep this Lion alive with everything they've got. And they bring S4 back into the party. Gets a really nice Shiva's Guard on everyone, but he can't take up 5 heroes worth of damage. He's trying to be the ambulance here. He's trying to make the space, but it might just be too much for him. They bring in EGM on the back lines, trying to do something here, but it looks like he may end up getting shot down. One more hit. Not going to be enough. The Chakram's coming back to himself. He Timber Chains to the high ground. Now F5, they're going to be going in. They will get that vision onto EGM again. They have that gem on the Night Stalker. They're looking for more. They've got the blink on Pasha. They will go through. They get the dunk. No. He holds the dunk, and that may end up costing them a kill on EGM. But for now, they go and they control up the Radiant base. Look at these Luna illusions just smacking away with these Moonglaives for all they're worth. They're bouncing every which way. And now that's an exposed Ancient. If Alliance are going to do something, they've got to do it quick. And, well, that's not the something you need. Rapid pings coming out, the dunk down. Immediate buyback from the Timbersaw, but it looks like the Ancient will be falling. Alliance, they may end up dropping game 1 here of the regionals. In fact, it looks like that's going to be the case. As S4, he's not big enough to take on everyone. Bulldog, though, he's trying, he's pitching in. Yol goes in with that Ghost Scepter, and it looks like the Ancient slowly but steadily ticking down. Dire Heroes, they're focusing it, forcing back Alliance. Alliance, they are not looking as strong as they once have. Fantastic5, the open qualifier team, going through and taking game 1 of the EU regional quals for TI6. What a match. madkingz, what do you make of that one?
That was the longest fight I've ever seen. I mean, it just kept on going everywhere. But yeah, I mean, like you said, in the end, Timbersaw, S4, he can't do everything on his own. I mean, him and and Bulldog was pretty much the only ones having farm. Obviously, that is something that Alliance does a lot of the time. But when you have a lifesteal, you need the lifesteal to be that big core who can output damage. And he could pretty much never really do anything in the engagements. I mean, he got a rage off. He maybe took down half a life on Yol from time to time, but then he got control up. He got killed. And that's pretty much like the downfall of Alliance, because they needed the lifesteal to do a lot of work in the late game as well.
All right, so we're going to move on to our next best of 1 here. Quickly checking the schedule. I'm not quite sure which game it will be. Well, we'll find out in just a little bit, but that was definitely an action-packed game going down, and we will hop on into a quick break here. Again, I've been your caster, Annee, aka Android, being joined by madkingz. madkingz will be joining me for game number 2. Another best of 1 coming at you in just a couple of minutes. Sit tight, everyone.